I'm excited to see some of the things that you guys alter. This video is going to be so hard to edit. Lord Jesus, get it together. It's your girl Marie Cashmere, and today I'm coming to you guys to show you different ways that I jazz up some of the pieces that I thrift, find online, find in store. I really wanted to share this with you guys for inspiration or to give you an idea on really how easy it is. I recently picked up some pieces from Amazon The Drop. I have 2 blazers from them that I want to make changes to, as well as some blazers that I got from a thrift store, and this silk blouse that I got from DC. I actually went to Janae's favorite thrift store, which you follow her, I'm sure you've heard of her. Her blog is highlowluxxe, and you can check her out on Instagram. I went to a thrift store that she goes to a lot, and I found this silk blouse. So I'm going to be making some changes to all of these pieces. If you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram as well, at mariecashmere. Hit me up, let me know you're here from YouTube, as well as check out my blog, mariecashmere.com. I'm excited to edit these pieces because I like them all, but you know how you get something and you know it just need like a little something extra? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to give it a little extra. That's what we're doing, because y'all know I'm extra AF. So if you're interested, keep watching. Let go. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is I want to change out the buttons on this blazer that I got from a thrift store. It's just a black blazer. It's oversized. I love it. It's vintage, I guess you could say. But it already comes with pretty thick shoulder pads, which I really, really like. But the only thing I didn't like about this blazer is the buttons kind of look a little cheap to me. So I have buttons that I got from Amazon that I will make sure I add to my Amazon favorite store so you guys can shop. But I'm just going to be changing out the buttons on the front. This jacket is kind of Balmain-esque to me when I put it on. And I typically like scrunch my sleeves up, like push the sleeves up. But I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to change the buttons. I have these matte gold buttons that I got off Amazon, and I'm just going to be changing out this shiny gold button for this matte one. And I feel like that will kind of up the look of the blazer a little bit. The buttons are the exact same size. If you're looking for a button that's about this size, just so you know, this is a 25mm button. The sizes can be like kind of crazy or confusing on Amazon, but this is a 25mm button. And like I said, I'll make sure I add all of this stuff to my Amazon favorite store. I'm going to show you guys how I take the button off, which we all know how to lose buttons, so that shouldn't be hard. And then I'm going to show myself adding one on, and then I'll come back after I finish so you can see the finished look. This is the sewing kit that I got, in this little case. And it's a pretty good like beginner's sewing kit. I didn't want to go ham and get like the mad big joint, but like I don't even know, well I do know what these are for, but I don't think I'm there yet. But anyway, it has, I feel like, everything that I'll need to begin with. So you have your tape measure, your thread, you got some safety pins here, scissors, some little buttons, your needles, you know. I really don't. I used to always see these, and I feel like I'm supposed to know what these are for, but I don't know. Girl, I don't know what it's for. And then I know my mom sews, so I've seen her use a lot of this stuff. And this is a seam ripper. So this is what we're going to use to take the buttons off. And then I'll show myself using one of these random needles and some thread. And we're going to see if the blazer looks better. I don't have the smaller buttons to go on the side, honestly, because when I ordered these, I just wanted to see if they were going to look cheap or not when they came. And I did order some other ones, like a matte black and a matte gray, and then like a shiny gold, so that I'm going to use on some other stuff. But I just really wanted to see like what the quality of them was before I like went ham and ordered like a whole bunch of them. So yeah, I didn't order the small ones, but I'm not really too pressed about this because like I said, I normally just have the sleeves pushed up anyway, so you can't really see these. My main focus is on the ones on the front. So let me adjust the camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so you don't need to see my face, you just need to see my hands, what I'm using. And so yeah, I'm going to start with this top button. Y'all, I hope I don't mess it up. But I'm just going to rip the seams on out this bad boy. And I hope you guys can see. I just inserted the top of this up under the thread. And we're just going to rip it. And I'm going to hope I don't put a hole in this blazer. And you have to be careful when you do this because you definitely will rip the blazer. You know, not speaking from experience or anything, but I'm sure it's possible. And so, yeah, a little cheap, well, it's actually pretty good button. All right, so that's off. And so I'm just going to continue to rip this threading out because we don't need that. Flip it inside out. Should be able to just pull it out. So you want to make sure that the button goes in the right space so that your joint ain't mad crooked. So we're going to be I'm going to keep a little bit of thread there just so I kind of know where the button needs to go. And it really needs to go about right there for it to be lined up with everything. Just make sure you're lining your joints up right because you don't want to do all of this and then it be in the wrong spot because that would be a fail. So I'm going to grab my black thread and a needle. You guys can see. You want to make sure you have enough. I'm just going to get started. I'm going to double tie this knot because I don't want it to be able to come through the blazer. So we go back, we find our starting point. I'm just going to go through the blazer once. Again, you want to make sure you're kind of like right on track with where it was before. And then so once I pull it through, we're going to loop it back through. And you want to make sure it's not too far for this one because too far away from your starting point because this button is only a one little thing button. It's not like the 4. So now I'm threading the button like that. And I'm just going to go back through again in the same spot. Make sure it's nice and tight. Here I'm going to tie a knot. The start of this, I know y'all probably can barely see this, but hopefully it makes sense what I'm doing. And then I'm going to come back through, but when I go back through this time, I'm going to feel the little loop on the button. I'm going to thread that before I go back through. And that's how I'm going to do this one. Some extra thread from when I first went in, and I'm just going to cut that And there we go. First button is on, and you can kind of see how different that looks with the matte versus the shiny. And I like the matte. Alright, so I've done 5 of the buttons, y'all, and I already have like a little update on how this can go by a lot quicker and a lot easier. So I'm going to show y'all what I've already learned in doing those 5 buttons. So you obviously are going to still rip the seams on the current button to take it off. And I'm going to try to make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Rip that bad boy off. Oh, this button want to be difficult. Alright. So once you have the button off, right, you can kind of see like that's where the thing needs to go. So I already have my thread, my needle threaded. And take your button. And the easiest way to do this is to just go back and forth into the little loop on the thing. I don't know what I was doing before with all that extra looping. That was taking up too much thread and too much time. Okay. So we start right here, right where the little thing is. So I just go right in the middle of that. Flip it over, bring it all the way through. Then I go right back in that same area, right? But don't push the needle all the way through. If you can see, it's like halfway up. Can y'all see that? So then I take the button and then I thread it. So I'm threading the button there. Push the needle through. And then once it's through, I just go right back in around that same area where we started. Push it through. But then when I come back through, I'm going to push it through again, and it's going to get stopped by the button. Still just kind of pull it through, and then I loop it through the button, if that makes sense, y'all. I hope that makes sense. But this ain't no sewing lesson anyway. I'm just trying to show y'all how you can update this. But yeah, that made it so much easier. Like, ooh, I saved a lot of time just going back and forth through this like 2 or 3 times. Honestly, I just keep going until my needle and my thread run out, but it's the last one. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back and forth. And I really hope that this helps somebody, because I have so many people telling me like, or asking me like, where you be shopping? Because I don't never find no blazers like that, or I don't never find nothing like that when I go. And I think y'all go with really high expectations. Sometimes I find some really ugly stuff, and it's all about how you rock it, you know? And then I look up and I find good stuff like these blazers. I typically always find at least one really good blazer. Whether or not I buy it is another story, but I usually always find one or two really good blazers. But y'all know my first stop for blazers is always the men's section, so that's where I always go. So yeah, now I've went through this probably about 10 times, and the button is really like on there. Like I could stop here. I'm gonna do it like 1 or 2 more times. And then I'm gonna stop here. And then you just tie a knot to secure it. Now this means that there's some extra. I messed up somewhere, but it's alright because it's up there. I ain't stressing that. And then we just tie our little knot at the end. And you don't want to cut it above your knot. Like, don't do that. That is the blazer with the new buttons on it. I love it. I think it looks really good. Alright, so the next piece that I'm going to alter is this blazer that I got from Amazon The Drop. It's a satin blazer. I'll link it down below. It'll be in my Amazon storefront. But it's a really pretty blush, long satin blazer. And this is actually long enough to be a blazer dress. But the only thing that's missing, y'all, is shoulder pads. Like, if it just had a little to it. So I ordered some shoulder pads. This is what they look like. I think it came in a pack of like 10 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they look like this. Just shoulder pads. And I could do one, but you know I'm gonna do two. So what I'm gonna do is I thought about sewing this together, but I don't think I really need to. I'm just gonna sew right through the shoulder pad onto the blazer. So yeah, I'm gonna show you two ways that you can do this. You can either sew it or you can safety pin it. I may have a safety pin big enough, but I am just going to, if you look right here on the seam where the blazer was put together, this is the seam where the shoulder is, and that is where we're going to be putting our shoulder pad. So once I put it on, it should sit. Ooh, baby. To tell me nothing. It should sit flat. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. And I'll try this on so you can see what it looks like without the shoulder pads. So without the shoulder pads, you see it's just a nice blazer, right? And I just felt like it needed something else. So I'm adding my shoulder pads. So I'm gonna put these kind of like, it should sit kind of like right there. You can see, and it's just gonna give me some extra, you know, look. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna do one to make sure I don't mess this up, and then I'll come back and show you how I did. Wardrobe change. So I finished the first side with the shoulder pads, and I did double them up like I said, and it was really easy. This is the side that I added shoulder pads to, and then this is the side that I'm going to show you guys me adding the shoulder pads to. And if you can tell, it just kind of adds like a little bit of, you know, structure to me. Like the shoulder just looks fuller on this side. And this is with two of these shoulder pads because they're not really super thick. I mean, I probably could have done 3, but y'all would call me extra or whatever. So, yeah, they come like this. And then like I said, with that last one, I doubled it up. So, like this. And this blazer, I'm not just going to add shoulder pads to. There's also some little buttons here. I'm going to switch out. I'm trying to decide if I want to do like a silver and gold button or if I want to do a matte black button. But yeah. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys me doing this shoulder here. And then we'll switch out the buttons and then we'll go on to the last blazer, which I'm just adding shoulder pads to. I'm going to actually show you me adding shoulder pads to the shirt instead of another blazer because I don't want this video to be redundant. So yeah, this is how the one side, and you can kind of see where I did that little bit of hand stitching. And what I decided to do, because I don't want the thread or anything to break this seam, so what I'm doing is I'm sewing onto here, right where they created the seam, and like even under this interfacing, I'm sewing right onto this right here. So that way it has something to stick to, but it doesn't actually break through. And I have my needle threaded. So this is what they look like doubled up. And all I'm doing is starting right at about, let me see how far up I want to go. So not that far. And you want to make sure that it's even, like it's in the middle of the seam. Make sure you like where it's placed. I always tell my son, if you do it right the first time, you won't have to do it again. So let's try to get it right. It might get cut because I don't know if y'all really can even see what I'm doing or not, which kind of defeats the point. But yeah, we'll see what stays. this button here. You can see, decided to go with the silver and gold button just to see how it looks. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to keep it, but this is the only one I think that I have that is the same size as the current one. I just know the button could have been better. They probably spent more on the thread than they did on the button. Oh my gosh. So I'm just doing the same thing that I did in the last blazer with the buttons. Oops, I almost messed up. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can't even see what I'm doing. Looks like. Alright, so the blazer is done. I have shoulder pads in both sides, and then I changed the buttons, and I'll get closer so you can see the shoulder pads. And they are in there. Right? Shoulder pads, sweetie. And then I changed the buttons to these little gold and silver ones. You can see. So that's what I put here. And then this does close, like I was saying, so this could be like a dress. But that would probably be the only time I would close it. And then, you know, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna be open with some jeans, cause that's my vibe. Okay. Last thing I want to show y'all real quick. I mentioned that there's another way that you can add shoulder pads without having to sew them in, and that is by safety pinning them in. That way, if you want to switch them out between different blouses, you can. I'm gonna do that with this pink satin blouse and show you guys what it would look like. So if you're interested in watching, just stay tuned. You already here. Like, what you gonna try to change for? Where you going? Alright. BRB. So I have the pink blouse here, and this is silk, sweetie. Matter of fact, the brand is Silk Focus, baby. It is 100% silk. And I found this at Janae's thrift store. So I'm gonna try to do this with these little safety pins. It probably is gonna be too small, but I'm gonna try. If not, I'll just sew them in, but I really don't want to sew them in. That's what Auntie taught me. So I'm gonna open my safety pin, and I'm not gonna be extra. I'm only gonna do one shoulder pad. I know, who am I? But it's bigger than wrap. All right, so just gonna safety pin it in there. I really don't know. I wonder how, like, I don't want this to show through my shirt though. So, is there a way I can do this? Like, this shoulder pad is so thick, I don't even think I can close it. Let me see. Yeah, see, that's what we don't want. I don't want that to show. So I'm gonna have to make sure that it's in there, but that it's in the interfacing. So it's gonna have to go through here. So when I put it up there, and this is just me talking myself through this, y'all. Don't pay me no mind. You have to do it like that. So you're gonna have to separate the seam, and then safety pin the seam onto the shoulder pad so that it doesn't show through the top of your blouse. And if you get the thick shoulder pads like this, or the thicker ones, don't try to take it too far or else it'll probably gap. So I just have it right there, and then you can't see it through the top. And it's in there. I got shoulder pads. I'm gonna do the other one real quick and try it on so y'all can see. Alright, so now you can kind of see how it's the shoulder pad squared off the shirt a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to double this one, but I need a bigger safety pin, so stay tuned. I'm gonna get some bigger safety pins, but I like it. And that just kind of gives a little bit of, you know, extra something to the shirt. The other thing that I wanted to show y'all that I didn't do in this video is this really cute chartreuse, I guess. I wouldn't even say this is chartreuse. This is just yellow. This is like a highlighter yellow blazer that I got from Amazon the Drop. And I'm going to be adding shoulder pads to this too. And it's really cute. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to switch this little brown button out or not. I probably will. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is the other thing that I'm going to be adding shoulder pads to, and pretty much everything else in my closet. JK, no, but for real though. So yeah, stay tuned for like a part 2, because I have some shorts that I want to hem up and kind of shorten and hem up and pleat on the side. And then I have, that's like a bigger project. And then I have this jacket that I got from Target that I want to take in. So yeah, so that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to go into more detail with some of the things that I did and what you think about this video. I want to see what you guys come up with when you find stuff from Goodwill and how you change it up. So make sure that you are following me on Instagram so that I can follow you back, but let me know that you're from my YouTube so that you can send me like the pictures and stuff of what alterations you do at your house. Alright, so thanks so much for watching, you guys. Like I said before, if you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit me up and follow me on Instagram at mariecashmere. And check out my website, www.mariecashmere.com. Okay. Woo. I don't know why I said them dots so hard. Ciao. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.